Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in into the Daring the Desert show, and thank you so much for joining me again. Thank you for subscribing, liking my videos, and sharing. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate. So today I have Mwalimu with me today. I have Nancy with me, and we'd like to talk with her, get to know her, and get to know more about teaching here in Bahrain. Karibu sana, my dear.
Thank you for having me, Sina. I appreciate being here. I hope we have a good time.
I hope so too as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I would like to talk about, to start with people to get to know you. If you can just give us a brief description about you.
Okay. So generally, I think most people know me here. I'm by my last name, Kahuho. So I work here as a language teacher, English. I teach IGCSE, English as a second language. I've been here for 8 years.
Wow.
So you can say I have dared the desert.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all. Like of course, I hail from Kenya, of course, but not in Nairobi. It's outskirts, Juja, Thika Road.
Yeah.
And I would say that I would say I was born to be a teacher.
Oh wow.
I'm a teacher by and large.
Okay.
Any other description is single.
Very single.
Yeah, and I love good company, and I like being with people of like-mindedness. Those who know me, they know that if we have the same mind, you have me as a friend, like for life. So that's what I look for. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So could you tell us how it started? Did you know about Bahrain before you came to Bahrain, or how did you get to know about Bahrain?
Yeah, actually, the first time that I went outside my country to look for work, I went to Saudi Arabia. I searched online for job searches. At that time, I think it was 2000, I can't remember, 2009 or something. So I applied and I got a job in Saudi Arabia. But while I was there, I kept hearing there's this place that Saudis go to have fun. It's open, it's kind to foreigners. And so I decided to find networks. So it took time, So I made calls, I asked around. I met one of my friends who had a friend who was working here. And I told that friend, please give that person my CV and I'm ready for interviews. And so I was very lucky because the contact that gave me a contact here of a principal of a school. His name was, shout out to Mr. Samuel. He took my CV. He was a Kenyan Ugandan from one of the schools here. He took my CV and arranged. He immediately believed in me. Yeah. He has never met me, nothing. It was God. He just took my CV, called me and said, I'm arranging for you an interview next week.
Wow.
Yeah, and those were the days of Skype.
Yeah.
So they Skyped me and they actually took me on the basis of, I can remember the feedback of the interview was, your accent is clear. Okay. We can understand what you're saying, and that is what we are looking for. You know what I mean? And I didn't even waste any time. By next academic year, I had already gotten a visa, and I came here to start my life here.
So how long did you stay in Saudi?
About 3 years. It was really,
wow.
I keep saying this.
Wow.
I told one of my friends,
I never knew.
Naomi, I told her that I was there for 3 years teaching. She didn't believe it. I was there for 3 years. But it's a different setting altogether when it comes to education in Saudi and here.
Yeah.
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 So I can talk more about here.
Yeah.
Because my experiences here have been very good, professional. Exposure is quite good. The challenges are there. I can speak more with authority after teaching in Bahrain than when I was in Saudi. And I was quite young, so I was starting. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything. But right now I'm exposed, and I think I can speak on the topic with authority.
So now you came to Bahrain. I know sometimes somebody is watching and somebody is like want to know, how do you get a teaching job in Bahrain?
Yeah, that's a very, very popular question.
Yeah.
For example, I have friends that we went to college with and they'll be like, oh, just, I'll send you my CV. I want to get a job in Bahrain. If you can do it, I can do it. And true, they can. But I've come to understand that Bahrain right now, if you want to look for a teaching job here, you need to have a bachelor's of education. If you do not have a bachelor's of education and you have like a bachelor's of arts in any relevant subject or bachelor of science, you need to do a postgraduate diploma in education. Especially now, the climate in 2022, you have to. This is the bare minimum what they are looking for. These are not the times when we used to get jobs with diplomas and then you do professional certificates like CELTA, Delta. Those are Cambridge accreditations. If you want to teach English, here we have you. Of course, you will teach in a private school. Private international schools. Where you teach Cambridge curriculum or IB, International Baccalaureate. Those are the two that are popular here, or the American system. Or the American system. So during my time, we could even come in with a Bachelor of Arts, with a diploma in anything, even with an engineering in degree. But you just do these certifications from Cambridge, from IB, from the American Institute, like SATs, teaching IELTS, TOEFL, and you would get a job. But right now, it's not like that. Right now, you have to have a minimum of a Bachelor of Education in relevant subject, English, or if you want to teach sciences, biology. You have to have an international experience. You have to be open-minded. You have to be dynamic. You have to be eloquent. You have to be also of a certain age. There is discrimination of age. If you are 40, 45 and above, you tend not to get jobs. This is my experience. I've seen that they want the new crop. They want the new generation who can relate with the kind of students we have here. So qualifications, minimum Bachelor of education if you want to teach primary and high school. If maybe for those teaching nursery schools, kindergarten, they can also have a diploma. I think they allow it. Yes. And then you're paid according to your qualification. So most international schools here, they have a pay range. So if you have a diploma, if you have a degree, if you have a master's and PhD and what's not. But as a Kenyan, I don't know if I should say this, but there is discrimination in pay. Extreme discrimination in pay. You can be working with the same job description, same working hours, same level with someone from a different nationality, mostly maybe from the West. They'll get twice or thrice of what you're getting. So I would advise any Kenyan or any African coming to work here to learn the pay grade system and to learn how to negotiate and sell themselves. You have to sell yourself. If not, you will get the bare minimum.
And once you do your interviews, do they search your certificate? What do you call it?
Exactly. So most Gulf countries, you don't go, even like China, without your certificates being
accredited. That's the one.
So but in Bahrain, it's the opposite. You come here first with any certificates that you have, and right now, for the last 4 or 5 years, they have insisted that no one will work in any capacity. No employer should have you in their school without certain accreditations. So what are these accreditations?
Absolutely.
So for example, if you have a Bachelor of Arts in English and Literature, for instance, you have to have the first stamp, which is from the university. This one is absolute. It's there. And then the Foreign Affairs Ministry, Foreign Affairs Kenya, Foreign Affairs Bahrain, Ministry of Education, Kenya. Ministry of Education,
Bahrain.
How many? 4 stamps, right?
4 star. Those are 5 star. Okay, 4, yeah.
Embassy, Kenya. Embassy, Bahrain. Since we don't have, we do Kuwait or Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So how many?
6.
6 stamps. And then we have now accreditation bodies. There's a new accreditation body. It's called Quadruple.
Here in Bahrain, right?
Yeah, here in Bahrain. So you have to upload, if you don't mind.
That's okay.
You have to upload your certificates. It's summer.
I know.
So you upload your certificates there, and they find out, they go to the websites, and so right now they are tracking down anyone without those. You can go to even you can be educated, like you went to any university, but it's not showing. The websites are not updated. What? You just have to prove that you have this qualification by getting this stamp. So we have a lot of teachers that are now, not able to get jobs, or they're not being approved for the next contract.
Yeah, because they're not able to get accredited.
Yeah, no, what they're doing is they're limiting.
Yeah.
They're trying to limit the foreigner so that they can create jobs for their.
But you also know there's a time that we had a lot of people who everybody will stop whatever work they were doing and they go into teaching, because I think when we were new, everybody was like, you can get a job as a teacher.
No,
and that's when
it's a misconception that everyone who works in a school is a teacher.
Yeah.
No, you could be an assistant.
Yeah.
An assistant teacher. You do not have to have any qualification to be an assistant teacher.
I will ask you about assistant teachers.
Okay.
But after we finish this,
Okay, so you could be an assistant teacher. Mostly those Kenyans that I know that are in school, they are not subject teachers. They are assistant teachers. And if they are working it depends also with what school.
Yeah.
Is that school, it could be under the ministry, but who is accessing their documents? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This was possible years back. You could be an accountant and teach math.
Yeah.
An engineer teach science. But right now, as of 3 years back, the schools are required to keep rooting out teachers that have not done education. Just like in Finland, right now in Finland, New York City, you cannot teach without a master's. So they want to create that. It doesn't mean if you're an engineer, you're not a teacher.
Yeah.
But they want you to have
the qualifications.
Teaching methodologies, psychology of teaching and learning, childhood development. Those are basics that you need now as a teacher. You need to be qualified to teach this particular set of children, because you have to understand their psychology. You have to understand how to adapt the curriculum into their needs. So you need to really study education. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even me, when I started, I didn't have a degree in education. I had to go back to school and do it.
Yeah.
But I knew this. So what our school did is they told us in advance that in a few years, these things will come. They can tell 2030 vision.
Yeah.
So if you have to fix anything about your papers,
you need to
you need to do it now. So I hope this will help a lot of people who want to be teachers. If you do want to work in a professional setting, you want to get a salary of a said teacher, you have to be qualified in these ways that I've said.
So tell me, somebody has a degree, they can be able to go through all that you've talked about. Do jobs, employment people, do employers really focus on people who are in Bahrain or out of Bahrain?
Okay, very good question. So there was a time, according to the way I've seen the trends, again, I'm using the word trends a lot because it's important. There was a time when here in Bahrain, I noticed that even when I came here, the employers here preferred to bring foreigners, expatriates from their countries. Specifically, I noted that a growing trend was targeting the Philippines. We had Kenya, South Africa, and of course, UK and the US, depending with the curriculum that the school is teaching and their needs, yeah? But right now, I've noticed that most employers, post-pandemic, with the economic situations that are going on in the world, prefer local hire. We do have instances of many schools bringing their own teachers from these countries that I've mentioned, but generally they prefer local hire. Why? Why do I say that? Because when you hire locally, you're able to bring that teacher in the classroom. Less risk, if I use the word risk. Bring that teacher in the classroom. Require the said teacher to create a demo class.
Okay, yeah.
And during the demo, you're able to see those things that are specific to the current needs of the students. Like I said, right now, if you go for a demo, if you're looking for a job in a professional setting, an international school that is looking for qualified teachers with what we said, and of course, you can have Bachelor of Education, but you don't have relevant experience in the field. You've not worked in an international setting. So how will they know? They put you in the classroom. And so what do? They give you a lesson. They say, create a lesson plan for this particular topic. Let us see how you deliver in the class. They give you actual students in class. They come, the interviewers, the panel is there. So they look at your ability to deliver your lesson plan from point A, from the icebreaker to the plenary, the last part. So what they look for exactly is your ability to interact with the students. Can the students relate to what you're saying? Are you alive in the classroom? Or you're just lecturing, like the way I'm lecturing here? You have to allow the students to speak. Every lesson at this, we are calling it the 21st century skills. Collaboration. That is teamwork, okay? Communicative. The students should be able to communicate and give feedback. We have open-mindedness. This is a way that you understand cultures. So whatever topic that you're teaching should incorporate open-mindedness. The student should be dynamic. Should talk about the patriotism of the country. Should be able to say why. The students should be able to understand why you're teaching. Even if I'm teaching like verbs, the student should tell me at the end of the lesson, why are you studying about verbs? How is it relevant in the 21st century? So they want that. And that is why they are requiring teachers to be qualified, because they want you to be familiar with the curriculum, methodology, delivery, different philosophies, sociology, the way the students are socializing at this time, because it's a very difficult time. It's not the same way we studied. Students are different. The things of mental health, technology in class. You have to learn about different applications so that you can teach and incorporate them in class. The students cannot, their listening span is very short. You have to entertain them. You have to make the lesson as interesting as you can. And so you see what is happening is, if you cannot do that as a teacher, the system automatically, forget qualifications, even in class, the system, the new requirements for a 21st century teacher in teaching and learning, they are calling it teaching and learning, is very, very, it's something else. You have to learn, you have to practice, you have to do professional development. It's a different ball game. It's not like what we use, all together. So that's why I would tell people, research, find out the needs of teaching at this time, teaching and learning. There's so many aspects. I cannot go through them, all of them, but make sure that you do professional development and you understand the industry, so to speak. So that is it.
So as I told you before, I wanted you to tell us a bit of how about teacher assistant job.
Okay.
Because I know a couple of people want to know or rather keep asking me about getting a job as a teacher assistant job. So could you just explain to us what it entails and what the qualifications are?
Yeah. So, okay, in my opinion, or from where I've worked, the kind of institutions that I've worked, teaching assistants do not have to have a certain qualification because they only assist the subject teacher. So most American systems, and if it's British, it's only the primary, the young children, because they need to be taken to their bathroom, they need to be helped to write. You know, one teacher cannot manage that. You know, cutting, you know, everything should, you know, hands-on approach.
Yeah.
So you need another hand, you know, teacher. So most of the teaching assistant, it's good to have a certain college degree, or college diploma, or whatever, but you're not going to teach.
Yeah.
You're going to assist the teacher.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a teacher assistant, not many schools have that.
Okay.
But those that, they only require you to have, you know, some communication skills, classroom management, you know, and generally, you know, the handling of students. Yeah, so it's you can get lucky. That's what I mean. Yeah, but about the salaries of teacher assistant, I do not know, but I don't think they are as lucrative. Yeah, I don't think they are, in my experience, the kind of schools that I've worked. Yeah.
So let me take you back to COVID days.
Oof.
So how was the teaching during the COVID? Because a lot of people had online classes. How was that experience?
Let me tell you, it was the most trying times of my career. I can speak also, I can speak even for other teachers and say that it was 2 years. Within no time, we had to learn so much. We had to learn applications. We had to learn a different kind of classroom. We call it the Google Classroom. We had to speak to students through the camera. And we had to keep them interested on the screen. We had to make sure that their cameras are on. And don't forget, maybe their parents are sitting and watching and listening. Sometimes you will be teaching and a parent is in the room. And it's like, he doesn't understand. Please repeat, you know. It was so challenging on institutions, on teachers, and on students. And that is when we realized is the issue of mental health. You know, the stress. We like sitting down for 8 hours preparing. Because you have to use applications like, for example, we have Kahoot, we have different Nearport. Those are just applications that you incorporate, you insert. Let me use the word insert. You have to insert the content, and then if there is a game, you click, they play the game. Then there is a typing, so you have to put a typo where you can check spelling. Then there is what? Speaking. If you want them to check their speaking, they have to create videos. It was really interesting because we saw technology in a different light. But again, those who could not adopt to the change were naturally selected. I know teachers that just stopped working during the pandemic because they could not learn technology. They could not use it. They could not adopt to the change, the new change. And so since the COVID times, we've never been able to go back. So now we are doing what we call the hybrid system, where we have both online and face-to-face. Yeah. So it's really, if I've survived post-pandemic as a teacher, I think I'm good.
A few teachers told me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Now you still have children who are preferring to be learning online instead of coming to class?
Yeah, especially students that are at risk. Because, we still have COVID cases, yeah? So we do have like sickle cell students. Yeah. Some students have, at-risk students, that medical issues that the risk of exposure is high. So asthmatic, what. So most of them have stayed home. So we have hybrid in class where we have some students are online and others are face-to-face. And you have to manage.
So you're teaching your class at the same time the online students are online.
Exactly.
Watching you from class.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do a separate teaching lesson?
It's not possible. I mean, especially in my school, how many hours of classes? So you have to learn the hybrid method. Again, a different technique of delivering. So what we're doing is that every time we are challenged to learn new ways of delivering the lesson. So you see, you really have to be qualified.
So now this is really a big challenge personally when I think about it, because here you're in class teaching online, and the same class you're teaching, you have students in it. So how do you balance?
That's the thing.
The brighter children, the ones who are not too bright, and online, and make sure all of them are concentrating in the same class?
Mostly it's not possible, but the thing is you have to try, because there's someone coming there to observe. Students give feedback. It's private school. The client is right. So what do? You have to create. That's the thing. The amount of time we use, generally socially, my social life is finished, because the amount of time that I use to prepare for this kind of blended learning requires more time. Why? I have to create worksheets that are differentiated for high achievers, so that when they finish, they don't get bored and disturb the class. Slow learners, you have to make sure you go to their level. Then the ones in the middle, the average students, now they help the slow learners. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the same thing you do with the online. I know what you're saying. How can it work? The students in class have computers. So yes, they are face to face. I can go to them. I can touch them. I can, but they're still online.
Oh, okay.
Because they are using their gadgets. So right now we are using computers in class. So you just put all the work in the Google Classroom, and then we have links to certain documents, links to certain games, links to certain app, and they know it. They have been trained. But again, you have to put a timer. You have to give feedback and say, oh, let's do this. You have to say, every time you have to remind them of the objectives. In any case, you have to do what you have to do to make sure that students are alert throughout. But now it's 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Okay.
With technology, it goes very fast, yeah.
It's something I've never been asked. I've never really tried to find out. I don't know about schools here in Bahrain. Do they have PE?
Of course we have. It's a requirement. Physical education.
When we were growing up, we used to go for games like a whole afternoon.
Well, here it's posh games.
Yeah.
They have swimming for like British school. They have basketball courts. They have, it's a requirement. So physical education, we call them extracurriculars, yeah? Non-core subjects. So we have physical education, art, music, what else? Yeah, and others.
Do they do all the whole school at the same time, or
No.
each class on its own?
Yeah, each class is like a subject.
Oh yeah, the way we do.
They were, the same way. But now, of course, they have resources, they have fields, they have teachers who are, qualified in sports. Yeah. So that's the difference between us and them.
Oh, okay. And something else. Pardon me when I say this, but I know. Back in our days, we used to say class 1, class 2, class 3.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about grades. What's the difference?
There's no difference. It also depends with which country.
Okay.
Because also we have standard 1, 2 in Kenya.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. How many years of nursery? How many years? And then we don't even have kindergarten, but here we have. So I think there's kindergarten 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But grade, I think traditionally grades were American way of saying.
Yeah.
So we have grade 1 to 6. Then that's primary or elementary. Then we have year 7. Grade 7 to 9. That is middle school. And then we have 10 to 11. It's O level. And then we have A level. 12 and 13, depending if you're saying year or you're saying grade. If you say year 10, it's grade 9. Year 11 is grade 10. Get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just semantics.
So what is the education system here in Bahrain?
Again, depends with the provider. We have different curriculum providers. We have the American, Canadians now. We have the British.
Okay.
But most private school that I've seen go for the British curriculum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is like the same we did in Kenya.
No, it's not the same.
What? Yeah.
What we have in Kenya is Kenyan.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we have different examination bodies in the world. We have Cambridge, we have Edexcel, we have the American, I don't know about it, but SATs, whatever. So we do have different examination providers in Kenya. No, in the world. So the ones that are internationals is when we say IGCSEs. You know, we had rich people who did IGCSE in Kenya and A levels and IB, and then they used to go to USIU or they go and study in the UK. You know, but it's very different. It's not the same as what we have in Kenya. The Kenyan system is Kenyan. Yeah, it's birthed in Kenya for the needs of the Kenyan population. Yeah, the Kenyan people. Very good, sweetheart.
Thank you so much for all your answers. So now we need to talk about you.
Oh my God, must we? So, what do you mean? As socially as what?
Social life. So I know this don't blush too much. Don't blush too much. But this is something I want to talk to you about because you have experience about it. And I know a lot of people are also going through this kind of thing. I know you were here in Bahrain for a while, and then you met somebody back at home, and you got married.
Yeah.
But you kind of had a distance relationship before getting married.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out.
Yeah, I didn't.
So I just want to know, or we just want to talk about the distance relationship from here.
Okay.
And how, you know, the advice you'd give on this.
Yeah, that's a very good question, especially as a professional. Like I said, most of us here are here to work. So we come with work visa. So some of us come here when we are single, then we reach a certain age and we want to settle down, definitely. So others work in different hospitality, you're in media and real estate, So you reach a certain point and do you want to marry, you know, if you were not married before. So most people go for distance relationships. Maybe you meet someone, it's safe, you feel safer when you're dating from home. That's what we say. And my advice as someone, as a person who is here to work, who is here with work visa, when it comes to distance relationships, I don't think I can advise it. And also, you need to speak to your significant other about the dynamics of work, like what you said. For example, you meet someone, you connect, you love each other, you get married, and then they come here because you're working here. They also have to work. Yeah. But what about them? What if they don't get that kind of job that they want? Yeah. Who will take care of them? And how long? How sustainable is it? Especially if it's a man coming in. I don't think there's any man who wants to be taken care of by a woman. No. It's very difficult. So those things are very important. That's what I was talking about, networking. Once you leave Kenya and you decide to go to any foreign country, if you've not gone with your spouse, someone that you've known each other for a certain time, you've already, you know each other, you have the same ambitions, the same, destination, whatever. It's very difficult because there is the issue of compromise. Who is going to compromise? Who is going to leave their work? What if this one does not thrive in that setting? What happens? Is he able to just sit at home and play house? Or will he go back? And when he goes back, what is this distance marriage? There's nothing like distance marriage per se.
Yeah, I think I'll be talking to somebody in the near future about distance marriage because I do want to understand it. But I would like to ask you, when you before you got married, did you like spend time with this person to get to know him?
Not enough.
Was it just more of talking on the phone?
Okay, given the nature of work that I have, being busy, and I can only be in Kenya at most thrice a year, which is very expensive. So the best way is to limit it to twice or once during the summer.
Yeah.
So that's not enough time to get to know each other.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to also indulge them in things like, sexual experiences, like before marriage. You want to know each other. But how much can you do? How much can you know this person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I actually courted my ex-husband for 3 years, but it was online.
Yeah.
Because, Skype, video calls, But once he came here, the picture that I had given him of this place, he couldn't thrive. And that created external pressure on our relationship. So if I knew what I know now then, I would really go ask anyone looking to settle down to find someone within the parameters. Within the parameters. Of course, I'm not telling you to settle for anyone just because, we want to get married, you go take some dude without any... Even men who are here can be deceptive.
Yeah.
Because they might have wives at home. God knows what they have done at all. God knows if they're psychopath, you don't know.
Yeah.
But it's easier to track a relationship within your parameters or within the same geography. Yeah, so if ladies are looking, professionals are looking to date here, also it depends with what you want. If you're looking for a Kenyan,
I think out here we have a variety.
We have a variety.
You choose what you want.
Choose what you want, but that's the thing. Whichever choice you have chosen, you are not free from the consequences.
Yeah.
Good or bad, dual citizenship. Who knows? But at the end of the day, whatever choices that you make, they always have to affect your career.
Yeah.
They will affect there are certain things that have to be done. They have to change. Things have to change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I always say that if I look at my friends in Kenya and I look at myself, I feel like I've lost so much when it comes to social capital. Yes, sweetheart. If you look at most of my friends at my age, they have 2-3 kids. They're settled. They're married. But moving from Kenya and coming to Bahrain to work set me back socially. I'm talking about socially, emotionally, so much so that I can't imagine. That even now, if I'm looking for a next partner, it should be someone with the same experiences that I have.
Yeah.
Either, someone who has worked outside the country just like me, so we can relate, you know what I mean? Or someone older. That's why that puts a mark there.
Yeah.
So a foreigner, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You cannot pinpoint exactly, but you can.
Love has its own way. You can never.
Wow, I don't know about love. You think there's something?
Yeah.
What is love? What is love to you, my darling?
It's a feeling.
Is it a feeling?
I feel it's a feeling of, how do I say? It's not a feeling that you feel I'm with the right person.
For me, love is, we have love languages.
Yeah.
So love is, one of my friends just told me, I just, I think I showed you his picture. Love is giving. Giving. It's giving. How much can you give? And how much do you want to receive? There are very many different types of love languages. Gifting.
Yeah.
Acts of service.
Yeah.
You cook for this guy, you whatever. I mean, so that's the thing. These types of love, which ones can thrive in our foreign countries? Are you both foreigners? Are you both Kenyans? Do you have children back home? I mean, what are you doing? I mean, these are important questions that people should ask themselves. But personally, if I never left Kenya, I would probably be doing very well socially. I'm talking about friendships. Now I'm talking about marriage, relationships, simply that. But I've set, it's not easy. What about you? What about you?
When we were back home,
Yeah.
I felt like we had 2 days off. We used to work and have 2 days off, Saturday and Sunday. It was a long weekend. I don't know, I would say right now it used to be a long weekend, and during those 2 days I will go to the village, visit my parents,
Yeah.
but you know, it's a weekend. You felt it's
Yeah.
a weekend. Now here, it's a Friday which you're off, and even if, like, for you as a teacher, you have 2 days off, right?
Yeah.
But on Friday, yes, everybody else is available and they're off. But on Saturday, you're all by yourself.
Exactly.
So to me now, weekends here is just 1 day. And that 1 day is when you sit down,
You rest.
you rest, and then after that, you know, the culture here is just work home,
Yeah.
work home. And you know, mostly back at home, you'll be like, you're expecting visitors on a Sunday afternoon. You know, you hang
Yeah.
out with your friends.
Yeah.
But that we really don't.
We don't have a social capital here. And if we relate, the other thing I need to say very clearly is that the friendships here are so facade, fake, so to speak.
Yeah.
Why? We have friendships that do not, you cannot say the truth. For example, you, Sinoi, right? You're my friend. If I tell you, hey, Sinoi, you know what? You're better than this. You should not be with this person. You should not be, you tend to hate me. This is not the kind of friendships we have at home. Like, is the friendships here, you have to fake it to be in that friendship. You have to be like, oh my God, I'm doing well. Look at me, you know. But generally, that's not the kind of friendships that we have back in Kenya. I am a feminist, yes, but I'm not a toxic feminist.
Now, I want you to tell me about being a feminist.
Feminism.
Yes, what is it?
So I need to set the record. I'm not. Everyone should be a feminist,
okay.
According to there's one Nigerian writer, I forgot, Adichie something. But toxic feminism is the problem. But what is feminism, Pastor? Feminism is everyone believing that men and women should have equal opportunities, equal pay. If you're doing the same job, you should be paid equally. Same privileges in the society, because traditionally it was a patriarchal society where men were considered for certain jobs and women were not. So this era of feminism, I don't want to go back to the history, it's a long one, is where women and men can both maybe have the same opportunities, same equal pay.
Okay, yeah.
That is feminism.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but now the new age, they have taken this feminism to away. You know, it is losing track. It's becoming toxic feminism, where women are being toxic. They want men to be away with the boy child, away with the patriarchy, you know? And so the boy child is losing because, you know, at the end of the day, as a society, we do need men.
Yeah.
We need fathers in our homes. We need good husbands. So what do we do? So societies have to do one thing. If we're going to empower our women, we need to educate our boys how to live with empowered women.
Yeah.
So now most governments, they are giving girl child same opportunities, same education, same salaries, you know, but they're not teaching this man who has grown up in a patriarchal society education on how to exist with these women. So that's why we have domestic violence right now.
Yeah.
We have a very high number of divorces because women are like, why do I need this kind of thing, you know?
I think also it's because we have a lot of bodies, a lot of organizations which are all about empowering women, but very less about empowering the boy child. So
that's the thing. The boy child is not ready to be vulnerable, to cry, to talk about their mental health. they're not ready to, because right now it's very difficult for a man to fight. If you fight, the feminism body comes in. So what do we do as women? We also have to change, I know, again, it's our job. I don't know why it should be our job. But if you want to be a feminist, think about your son. You want your son and daughter to have equal opportunities. But then again, you need to educate your son how to exist with your daughter, who is now more confident, more empowered, educated, with a source of income. And let's not forget, also able to use contraceptives. So she's able to plan her family, contrary to. So the privileges that were once for men are now being taken over by women.
Can I ask you something? Now that you have pointed it out, I just want to know. You talked about contraceptives. Do they teach this in schools?
They don't.
Okay.
They don't teach so many things in school. Contraceptives, how to do tax returns, how to use. They only say types of contraceptives. We have a condom and we have pills. But they don't go into detail. We don't have life skills education. We do, maybe now they are starting it, but when we were growing up, we didn't know.
Yeah, I think the only thing that we talked about was home science.
In home science, did they talk about contraceptives? It was a taboo to talk about these things.
There was no contraceptives. They only talked about the female and male organs
and sexual diseases.
Yeah, and we had a class where we talked about menstrual period.
Menstrual period and hygiene.
Yeah.
But that was it. How to maneuver, how, even contraceptives topic should be taught to men.
The reason I asked you that is because the children right now is not the children we were.
Exactly.
So that's why I was curious just to find out if they talk about this in schools.
No, we don't talk, especially in this, it's an Islamic Muslim country primarily. Yes, the curriculum is British and everything, but contraceptives per se, they don't go into details.
Okay.
So if you want to talk about contraceptives at a certain age, you have to speak to either your parent, that is if they are willing to speak about sexual diseases, protection, pre-teen pregnancies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're willing. So I think the only people who can teach about contraceptives, about sexual diseases, sexual whatever, sex, it's your mom and dad.
Another one question, sorry I'm bringing you back to this teaching stories.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I had in mind was like, the children who are learning online are using computers right now.
Yeah.
Is there a way that the parents the teachers are able to find out what they're doing on the computer more than, because nowadays children are very much exposed.
Yeah.
So are they able to know what they're doing?
That's the thing. That's the danger. That's the con of having unlimited access to technology. And that is why also we are teaching now in school about what we call cyberbullying.
Yeah.
Cyberbullying and also just cyber safety. Cyber safety has to do with how are you able to filter what you see in the internet? How do you regulate your kids? What websites do you block? It's really difficult. And that is why, in the age where both parents are working, how do you control what your child is looking at the internet? It's almost, I don't even have an answer for it. But now I think goes back to, like we said, about father and mother in the home, the values. If that child is able to look at a website, it's written pornography, and it's like, no, this is not for me. This is what we want. We do not want children that cannot watch pornography or cannot talk about sex or whatever. We want children that are able to think that, hey, is this right? Is it wrong? They have those value system in them that they're able to make that choice even without being watched or blocking or what, or taking their phone away. So that is what now we are talking about, education, being more of life skills and educating the heart than the mind.
Thank you so much, Nancy. And Nancy, I heard that I saw an invitation that you'll be leaving the island.
Well, yeah, I'm actually leaving this country after hosting me for 8 years. I'm going to another country for greener pastures. And I hope that I can take the experiences that I've had here with me. And I hope whatever I've told people here will help them, because it has helped me. You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my darling.
Thank you. And before you go,
Oh my God.
at the Daring the Desert, we had a parting gift for you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yes.
Daring the Desert, Nancy. Oh my God, a whole set. You are so professional. I cannot deal with you. New challenges, inspiring bigger dreams. Good luck on your new adventure. Sinoi.
You know, I've known you for a long time.
No, but this is way, way more than I expected. This is so brilliant. It's so beautiful. And it's really, it's something for me. I'll keep it forever.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm not going to cry the makeup, but give me a hug. Oh, yes. Thank you, my love. Thank you
You're
so
very
much.
welcome.
This is so thoughtful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sinai.
Thank you for, for coming, having a seat with us before you leave.
Anytime.
Really appreciate, and even our viewers really appreciate. At least they got to hear from you before you go.
Comment, subscribe, and share this video, please. And also, we need honest feedback on what we were saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tumeringa, tumeongea ukweli, did we exaggerate? Tell us in the comments. Where, here or there? Here, is it here?
Here.
Okay, there.
So thank you so much, and thank you so much again for joining us here on the Daring the Desert show. Thank you.
Cheers.